2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. Lights get 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Hello and a warm welcome from Travis Labs on today, the after feast of the Theophany of our Lord and Saviour. Big John of Frankadelic fame, who likes to wear lycra, has questioned the efficacy of a wok. Is a wok better on a gas hob, what with its round bottom, or is it better on an induction hob? So let's put this to the test. So John was looking at getting something quite fancy. I mean, look at that. Well, if you're going to spend that sort of money on something to make your wok go really well, then do some research, and I'm going to help you out with that free of charge. Perhaps I can save you some money and then you can use it to buy me beer sometime. So first of all, I'm going to select our wok from this range of superb copper coloured pans, and this is a Kirkton House wok, so that's a distinguished brand of manufacturers based at Aldi. And let's put 400 mils. Let's put 400 mils of water here. And I've got my digital device. It's got digits on. Makes it digital, doesn't it? So this is a Swiss chronometer, probably, by Philip Harris. So let's time how long that takes to reach the boil, and then I'll do the same thing on my gas hob. Crank it up to max and get our stopwatch going. We've got a few bubbles, nucleation or bubbles appearing, and we're just coming up to 2 minutes there. Look at that, 2 minutes. But we've got some bubbles here. It probably is at 100 degrees already, but I suppose we're gonna wait till we get some convincing boiling. Just coming up now to 3 minutes. So when do I declare this a proper boil? Fairly soon, I think. So we declare that to be boiling, don't we? We've got some big bubbles, and we're going to call that 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We don't want to poach eggs in a wok, do we? We've got a frying pan for that. We want to stir fry some veg, and what's simpler than to do this with some nice red onions. So let's just do a fairly arbitrary test, but see what's quicker, the hob or the gas stove. Let's get some look at that, that's not posh at all. That's industrial olive oil. So I've got a chronometer again. I'm going to set that going, so let's get that going, and let's get our stove fired up. So that's really getting quite hot. I can see it shimmering there. So we're just coming up to 2.5 minutes, and I'm going to chuck the onions in. There we go. Yeah, that's the sound. Yeah, that's it. So as you can hear, that's quite a satisfactory sound. So I'm going to roll this over on its side to see if I can still induce heating, as one might roll a wok on a dedicated gas hob where the flames are licking up the side of the wok. So we're going to roll this on its side, but something happens. I put this on its side, and there we go. It says no pan, so it does turn off. So I'm sorry, you do have to have the base of the wok in contact. So how long did we take it for? About minutes or so. And we're doing how much? 5 minutes now. Get some evidence of browning. I want to get them nicely tenderized. And bear in mind, I should have weighed, I should have weighed the onions, but I don't really have much of a balance. I've got a kitchen scale, so I need one of these, or at least grams, not just, ounces, like my great big kitchen scale here, which wouldn't really be accurate in measuring small amounts of onions. So that's my excuse. Maybe I could get a sponsorship and get a nice sensitive balance. So we're just past 6 minutes. Some evidence of browning. I mean, I know this is a bit arbitrary and less pure physics, but I think we'll be able to get a meaningful comparison here. I do think you need a little longer, just a little longer, to brown and to soften up a bit more. Incidentally, this is a 3 kilowatt hob, as we found out in the previous video. But one can get, I think manufactured by Buffalo, a 7 kilowatt 2-plate induction hob, which would presumably put about 3.5 kilowatts into each single ring. So that would double that would halve the cooking time, turning, into a creamy brownish colour, and I would say that's fully tenderized now. And we're coming up now to coming up to 9 minutes. And there you have it. So loads of onions. What am I going to do with them? I think I'm going to make them into a tortilla. So I've got a nice tortilla pan and a salamander grill, and I'm going to knock it up with some eggs, but that could be another thing. So let's check this wok out on a gas hob. But I don't have a gas hob in the chalet, as of course in these Swiss style luxury chalets we don't have gas because of the amount of flammable materials around, and an induction hob is much safer. So we don't have gas, but anyway, that's easily fixed. So let's walk on down the path. And welcome to the kitchen of Moosehead Manor, where the gas hob is. So I've been chilling this down a bit because I've only got one wok of this type, and we've got to keep it fair. So I'm going to take the temperature all the way down again. So I've run that under there for a bit, and hopefully it's at the right temperature. So let's measure out some liquid. So as before, I'm going to get 400 mils exactly. That's 400 mils, okay. And into our wok. I'm using the largest of 4 burners. Admittedly, it's not a dedicated wok burner costing £2,000 that some mooseheads would like to buy. This is a cheap gas burner from Maplin, and it cost £59. The same cost as a Pocket Shepherd, I believe. Anyway, so let's get this going. So that's at the back there. There we've got some heat, and let's get our clock going. That's now going, and I'm going to put that up to the max. Okay, that's now going at the max, and we'll see how long it takes to boil 400 mils of water on a gas hob. Gas being a fraction of the price of electricity, of course, about 25%. Makes it an economic option for now, but we have to think of the planet. And there's a lot of carbon dioxide coming off there. And of course our electricity is all produced by windmills and solar panels now, isn't it? And they have no environmental effect, as we know. Well, let's so much in this country anyway. Too bad about the great toxic lakes in China and all that, but we don't care about that, do we? Nitrogen trifluoride, yes, used a lot in making solar panels, and there are bloody great lakes of the stuff in China, you know, as big as the Great Lakes in America, or something like that. Not much is happening. So, yes, but gas is a quarter of the price of electric. That, of course, is going to change under new environmental policies dictated by Carrie Johnson. We can expect our electric to match the price of gas, and the price of gas is going to go up about twofold. So we've got to look forward to all that in the coming year. So I'm now up to it's coming up to 2 minutes, and I'm going to cut out some of this inane banter. But I hope, John, that this influences your decision, and you'll be able to do your stir fries and other wok stuff, having made the best possible purchase, and hopefully an economic purchase which would leave you a bit of money on the side to treat your moosehead mates to a few beers and a curry. That wouldn't go amiss either, John, but you don't need to wear lycra for that, only when you're on stage. Okay, we've got coming up to 3 minutes, and it's very efficient, isn't it? Because that is starting to bubble now, probably at 100 degrees already, but we'll wait till we've got a very clean boil on. So that's it's good, isn't it? It's 3 minutes really, and took, well, it was coming towards 4 minutes when it was boiling on the hob. So clearly we've got a lot of power going into the wok. And again, I don't know when to declare a clean boil, because the heat is now spreading throughout the wok, more so than it did under the induction hob when it was just the base that was getting hot, but the entire surface of the wok is getting hot now because of the flames licking up the sides. And I think we can declare that a boil, and I'm going to declare that a full boil, and we'll call it 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Well, I never. So that's well, that's a good bit faster, 30 seconds faster than the induction, and it's on gas. I mean, it's not orders of magnitude different, but that's pretty good, isn't it? So gas hob, a little better. Note that this is again, it's not a specialised wok hob, it's just a normal regular gas hob. So it's all well and good to test a wok with a bit of water, but let's face it, we're not going to use a wok to poach eggs, are we? We're going to use it to do stir fries and to fry vegetables, which we can toss gaily into the air and you know, get all sides done. So without further ado, I'm going to chop up some onions. Right, so let's just see how the wok performs in a real life fryer. So onions be nice, fried onions, very nice, and these onions were provided courtesy of Sarah. Thank you, Sarah, for the excess in your vegetable box. So let's just get these processed. There we go. Gosh, this isn't one of my knives. It's far too sharp for that. Sharpest knife in the drawer. Which is not a compliment I've heard often. There we go. So let's get these all nicely diced. Oil, Rather posh, isn't it? I think it belongs to Fran. It's not mine. Oil. So here we go. We've got some oil in our wok. We've got it on high gas heat now, and the timer is going. Started it from when I first put the heat into the oil, and we're going to fry some onions because nobody wants to boil water in a wok. It's boring, and this is a real life task. So perhaps it's less pure physics, more culinary, as we see the efficacy of this Kirkton House wok on a gas stove to do onions. And isn't that nice? About 1 minute 30, we got the oil hot enough to put the onions in. Obviously I didn't measure the temperature of the oil, it's just intuition of a master chef. And again, it's going to be a bit arbitrary as to when we gauge the onions as being done. That's got woks better. No, we're just past 3 minutes there for a good fry up. And we've got a bit of brown appearing now on our onions. A bit of brown, and we're coming up to our 5 minutes mark. Onions are looking nice and browned. Prefer just a little bit more. But they've been nicely tenderized now. Now, what do you reckon? Perhaps I can get some other light on that. It doesn't help. You see, you can't. They're actually quite brown. The camera's also adjusting a bit, making it a bit whiter than they really are. But actually, they're nicely browned, and this is what I would say would be about optimal to go into a hot dog. And there you have it, some nicely browned onions, or anything else you might want browned onions for. Okay, so we're going to call that done, and that is, well, we'll say that is going up to 6.5 minutes in total. So we'll say 6.5 minutes for the wok on the gas stove. So, to heat some water, well, 400 mils, but not really relevant as this is just a relative comparison. So that took 4 minutes on the induction hob in a wok, and on the gas stove it only took 3.5 minutes. So according to my calculations, there we go, that means that the induction is 87.5%. 87.5%. As good, as fast as the gas. But with the onions, it's a bit different. There's a bit of a bigger difference there. So that may have been because I put more onions in at the first place into the induction fry up. So that's my fault. Should have measured them out. Anyway, perhaps to get them more nicely browned, perhaps because we could do it. So the wok was, very hot up the sides as well, so it was all a bit quicker to do the browning on the gas. So a bit better there. And so we've got, let's just divide 6.5 by 9. That gives us a figure of, yes, so the induction is 72%. 72% as fast as the gas. Conclusions are that, well, the induction is perfectly adequate, and if you had a 7 kilowatt induction, well, it would be faster. But anyway, we've got what we've got, so I can say that the gas is rather faster at doing onions. Probably because it allows you to heat up the sides of the wok effectively as one, and so the browning area is increased. And all in all, that's pretty good. But induction adequate, perfectly adequate. Gas, well, if you want to spend loads of money on a special gas dedicated wok burner, then you do so. But I'd still prefer you use the money to spend on your mates and buy them some beers and curry. So good luck with that. I hope I've helped your choice there, John. And here we have a couple of, well, I think quite nice looking tortillas made from all those onions. So just to let you know, they're not going to go to waste. I shall enjoy these along with some craft beer. Bye for now. See you next time.